Hey guys, how's it going? Solo back with another daily stock market video. And what another crazy day in the stock market. It seems like the days are getting even more wild. Who knows what tomorrow is going to bring? But looking at the heat map here, you can see, looks like it was a good day, right? If you didn't follow the day or the stock market all throughout the day, you'd see, oh look, mostly green on the board, a little bit of red, so it must have been a good day in the market. But you couldn't have been farther from the truth. We're going to talk about Corsair Gaming today, but before that, we have to talk about the market overall. I mean, look at this mixture of green and red on the board, but that does not tell you the full story of what happened today. Let's take a look at the cubes, or QQQ, which is the NASDAQ 100 ETF. There has been a huge sell-off, basically, the past 2 days in the tech sector. I mean, look at this. Futures were red today. The Qs, or the NASDAQ, was down 1.7% at opening bell. And then within the first 20 minutes of the market being open was down 3.42%. I mean, we were calling for, is this the top? Is this the beginning of the correction? And then we rallied up until about lunchtime or a little bit before that, sold it off again, and then we rallied strong into the close. So much so that we almost closed green at 3:30 p.m. 30 minutes before the market closed. We rallied all the way back to being green. And like I said, we didn't finish the job. We kind of slowly melted off right at the closing bell. We closed down 0.3% on the Qs, down 0.05% in after hours trading as I make this video. So pretty much flat after hours. But wow, once I saw this huge recovery, I posted in the Discord group, I guess stocks really only do go up, because it seems like nothing can hold this market back right now. I was getting worried. I don't have a lot of capital tied up right now. If you've been following my videos, I only have shares of Corsair. So if this was the top, I would have been somewhat okay with it, because I would not have been bag holding too much of my capital, which is what I want to do. This past week and a half, the market's been kind of shaky in my opinion, so I didn't want to open up a lot of positions. And if this is the top or we start a correction, I don't want to end up bag holding a lot of my money and have it tied up in options and shares. So I'm kind of having one foot out the door just in case. I don't want to tie up too much of my money. Let's take a look at Corsair. So Corsair, similar story. Everything was down. Corsair had a huge green day yesterday. We were hoping for another continuation of a green day, but unfortunately we couldn't get that, although we can't complain too much because we did have a nice recovery. Corsair opened the bell, look at this, down basically 6.5%. What a rough start. And then, just like the Qs, the whole market, within the first 20 minutes, Corsair was down 16.3%, down $6.63. What a huge blow. I actually have 400 shares of Corsair that I was assigned based on the puts that I sold last week. And if you just take a look at the strike prices, my cost basis is $41.25. However, if you account for the premiums that I collected by selling those puts, my cost basis is actually $38.81. But this morning, when Corsair was in the 34s, I think it got as low as 33, to be honest with you. Man, I was worrying because I was down $5, $6, $7, depending on how you want to look at it, per share. Luckily, we did rally back pretty quickly, and then we were pretty much flat all day long. We couldn't rally as hard as the Qs did, but we were down 5.8%. We closed at $38.26, down a little bit more after hours, but we are very close to my cost basis by taking it into account my premiums. So I'm not too worried. I'm hoping we have a rebound green day tomorrow, and then I should be hopefully back to break even, or maybe even a little bit of a profit. So I also want to give a little bit of a heads up to newer investors, because if you were in the Discord server, you know that last night I actually had placed a stop loss order on Corsair for $39 a share, just in case I want to lock in some gains in case we had a red day today. However, my stop loss didn't hit because in pre-market trading, as you can see, we were already below $39. So Corsair gapped down below my stop limit order. So that is one of the dangers of setting a stop limit order, in that if the stock price moves way fast or gaps down below it, it won't trigger. So you have to always be aware of that. Now, another way you can get around that is by setting a stop market order. but then you're not guaranteed a certain sell price. You're going to sell at whatever the market is at that time. So just be wary if you're setting stop loss orders. Make sure you're aware of whether it's a market order or a limit order, and always know there's a possibility the stock could move so quickly past your limit that it might not trigger, or if it gaps down below your limit, it might not trigger, which is what happened in my case. So this morning, I took off my stop limit order, hoping that we would rally back. So just a pro tip for some of the newer investors out there. Let me show you a news article that I saw that came out today on Corsair Gaming. This is out of the Motley Fool, and this is titled, "This hot video game stock is on sale right now." So I think I agree with this. They're talking about Corsair Gaming, of course, and they're saying it's been setting the stock market on fire over the past few months thanks to the strong demand for video gaming hardware and peripherals. And it looks like the momentum is spilling over into 2021 as evidence from its fourth quarter of 2022 results. Now, there's been a solid forecast in terms of expectations and revenue for Corsair this coming year, but investors, it says right here, dumped the stock following the earnings report. And this is what it shows right here on the graph. And we certainly felt that for those of us in the Discord and on Twitter that have been following Corsair for a few weeks now. But says right here, however, Corsair's dip could be a buying opportunity for savvy investors looking to take advantage of the fast-growing video game hardware market. Let's see why. Honestly, I know Cathie Wood has invested in Skills, which is a kind of an esports or also a gaming company, essentially. But I really wish Cathie Wood would discover Corsair and drop a few milli, maybe drop a few 100,000 shares on it. That would really get the stock going and put it on the radar of a lot of people. But it says right here, video games gave people a way to keep themselves entertained when they were confined to their homes last year. Not surprisingly, Corsair's revenue jumped 55% in 2020 to $1.7 billion, driven by the massive demand for gaming hardware. Now, the gross margin also increased 6.9 percentage points during the year, and adjusted earnings shot up from 35 cents a share in 2019 to $1.60 per share last year. And analysts were expecting Corsair to lose steam in 2021. However, I don't think that's going to happen. I've said this before in my videos. For those of you that are gamers out there, are you going to stop playing video games because the pandemic is over? I don't think so. You're just going to keep playing video games, keep buying Corsair peripherals. And not only that, but Corsair does more than just gaming peripherals. They actually make components for your PC, for those of you PC builders out there, including power supplies, cases, and RAM. Also, their RGB lighting, of course. So Corsair has a lot of hands in different kind of sections of the gaming industry, I would say. They also own the Elgato brand. Rumor is that they're going to be introducing microphones and webcams as well for the streamers out there. So Corsair really is kind of getting into a lot of different sectors of the gaming industry. Now, the one issue with Corsair was that they were having supply issues because of the illness, right? The pandemic. But it says right here, towards the end of the quarter, we were able to start filling retail shelves again, and we saw our market share numbers starting to rise in many of our categories. And it seems like not only that, but when things do get stocked, they immediately get bought because people, including myself, are trying to upgrade their PCs, maybe buy new peripherals, and Corsair is one of the better companies, in my opinion, in that space. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Let me know what Corsair components you currently have in your computer, or what peripherals you're using, or what you've used in the past in the comments below. Let's take a look at the TradingView graph here to see if we can do some technical analysis. So here's the Corsair graph. Now, I had thought we were trading this parallel channel for quite some time, and I think it's held up. Yes, we had a huge sell-off today, but look at it. We closed right again above this area of support that I have around high $37. And not only that, but we're still on this upward trending channel. So I think we're still on the up and up. Now, the one thing I'm going to be looking for is right now we closed below the 50-day moving average, which is this pink line. I want to see us close above it and stay above it. Ideally above the 21-day moving average as well. But if you are bullish on Corsair in the short or midterm or even the long term, when you're at the bottom of this parallel channel, this might have been the buying opportunity. Honestly, the buying opportunity was this morning when Corsair was trading for $33 a share, because even in one day, you would have made $5 a share just like that. So I kind of missed that opportunity, to be honest with you, because I was scared. I was afraid this was the start of a correction and I didn't want to open up more positions. But If you weren't scared like me and you did open up more positions, you were rewarded very nicely. So I think this parallel channel is still going to hold up. I am looking to see more of a bullish momentum, a pop. We haven't had that yet in Corsair. We had a pop back in November of last year. We've kind of been just up and down, up and down, up and down for the past few months. Let's end the video looking at the option flow data to see what the big money investors were doing with Corsair today. So only one option flow order came in on Corsair today. That was a call option. That was a sweep. But the sentiment indicates that it was bearish, and it was for a relatively small amount of money. It was for $52,000 in premium. It was a 40 strike call. So you would think that this was a bullish play, but because this was bought near the bid, the assumption is that someone actually had a bearish play on it. And this order actually came in at 10 o'clock in the morning. So back when Corsair was still relatively low, or not quite as recovered as it was towards the end of the day. So maybe somebody thought that we are going to keep dipping for the rest of the day, or maybe they think that tomorrow is going to be another red day. Personally, this is just speculation and just me guessing. I think we're going to have a rebound green day in the market tomorrow, maybe make back some of the losses people would have taken today. At least that's what I'm hoping for. As always, make sure you join the Discord server if you're not in there already. Add me on Twitter and StockTwits and Instagram and Reddit. Most importantly, I hope you're still having a green week, and I'll see you on the moon.